We're clap synced.
Oh, we did?
Oh, nope. That's right. Wow, okay.
All that great Family Guy discussion for nothing.
Yeah,
okay.
Great riffing.
Well, hey, that was us just zip zap zopping, so. All right, so we'll do 3, 2, 1 clap.
Oh wait, are we doing it 3, 2, 1 or we're doing it on clap?
Well, we're doing
clap
3,
is
2,
assumed.
1.
We're doing it 3, 2, 1, and then when we say clap, we're also clapping.
Well,
Nobody's saying clap, it's assumed.
No, we do it on 0, but the 0 is silent.
Yeah.
Just like in Spanish.
Yes.
Exactly.
Is the 0 silent in Spanish?
I don't know. I woke up 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, me too.
Jesus, you people. You people.
All right, so let's do one more.
All right.
So
on clap.
Yeah, okay. The clap is silent. The word clap is silent, but the clap itself.
All y'all need to take a music class.
Do they teach about the silent clap?
Yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Clap. Okay.
Wait, you were supposed to clap when you said clap? No, I'm kidding.
No. All right, here comes the theme song.
7825, code 6, 105 North Avenue 52.
Prepare to be crushed by the vortex of the law. This isn't happening. Everyone look away, please. Nothing to see here.
You can't break those cuffs. Make him away, Ty.
Thought Cops, the only podcast where every week we police the mean streets of the internet because, hey, somebody's got to do it. And then we let you be the judge, the jury, and the executioner in the court of public opinion. Coming to you live from Neo, Chicago, I'm Officer Cake.
And I am also Officer Cake.
It was all cake?
Yeah, Kevin, imagine this, if you will. Imagine this picture within the confines of your head. You're an astronaut, right? And you're looking at the Earth, and the Earth is just a big piece of cake. And I'm also an astronaut, and I'm standing behind you with a green squirt gun, and I say, "It always has been."
Somebody make that for us.
The cake is a lie. Remember that?
Oh no!
Has anyone said that recently?
Have y'all seen when a woman cuts into a birthday cake and it's a water balloon? And that's the one thing that was supposed to be cake, and it wasn't.
Subverting expectations. Quote, you love to see it. Anyway, let's give a quick thank you to our guest from last week, Brandon Kirkman.
We're doing it on clap?
Well, 3, 2, 1. And we got a returning guest to the show. We got Ian Erickson. How the hell are you?
Hello. Thank you. I never been better.
Is that right?
Yeah, everything is so incredible. I love. I feel great, and everything's been going so smoothly for me. I'm obsessed with loving life.
And that must be nice.
Yeah.
Do you eat and also pray?
I definitely do the former more than the latter.
I mean, these days, you know,
in this economy,
I love platitudes like that, you know, this economy. So Ian, you are also a stand-up comedian here in Chicago. How the hell have you been staying sane during these unprecedented times.
Well, I've been going out to. I've seen a few mics that have opened up, and I've been making sure to go out to every open mic that I can still go to. I'll go to that. I think it's so important to be practicing my craft, especially in the year of 2020. I'm out there at the mics. I'm in the small, tight, confined areas, and I'm doing my jokes. Everyone's busting their gut, and I'm sort of, I just think comedy. What is comedy? It's truth. It's speaking truth to power.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what is power? The power is the ability to make someone wear a mask. Power is, the ability to say no to someone. Power is the ability to tell someone not to eat a can of beans. So what I do is I think I'm saying, hey, let's take a look at who are these people saying we can or can't do something. And, we're in this really tight, small area and,
right.
Masks. If you don't want to wear a mask, that's fine.
Right.
You can do that.
You're basically an essential worker, except more important.
Well, I think that, comedy, it's a lazy philosopher. So I'm essential.
That's true.
I'm certainly essential. But I think part of just doing comedy, being out there, and also doing online mics. You can do online mics, do online shows. It's important to just get your voice out there. It's important to produce, to make content. It's so important to just make sure your voice is heard because, we need to hear voices in 2020. You have to get out there and let your voice be heard. It's never been more important to make sure that people know what you're thinking and that you have you have the correct thoughts on things.
I miss just getting up there and coughing on the mic, in that very tiny room in the back of D-Men Tap, just coughing on the mic.
I know that it's there's a serious thing, but is there anything more funny than just kind of pretending to cough?
I mean, that would be that'd be a great bit if it wasn't killing people.
If it wasn't killing people and actually causing a lot of harm, wouldn't that just be the funniest little thing?
I mean, that's trolling at its finest, if I'm being honest.
Could you get just the epic troll guy lay coughing into lay mic?
People keep wanting to bring that guy back. They're like, oh, Wojak suck. Let's bring back Derp and Derpina. Man, I never found that shit funny. Not even once. I hated that shit.
Look at Mr. Enlightened over here. Oh, come on. I never found rage comics funny. Look at me. As if that's the highest bar for anyone to have to jump over.
Did Richard Pryor say that?
Can you imagine what George Carlin would have had to say about today's culture?
About fucking femboy Denny's or whatever the hell.
Oh, God.
Do you imagine George Carlin signing the Harper's letter?
Oh, he totally... I feel like he probably would. There's maybe a few people who are I just feel like if you get to a certain age on the graph of age and wealth... for a long enough timeline, you're gonna just become insulated by your wealth and just become soft, and then you're gonna become a anti-culture reactionary or something, or just you're all the people in those letters, they don't care about cancel culture. They care about, because they're not canceled, they're still making tons of money. They just don't want people to have the ability to get mad at them. They don't want that to be okay or normal.
Where'd you go?
Me?
No, Ian. He trailed out.
That was Ian. That wasn't me.
What?
God damn it. Let's just move on. 2 minutes of hate. We can hear you now.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Sorry, I stood above my microphone to fix my window, so maybe that's what happened.
Yeah, you gotta close that window. Keep the germs out.
Yeah.
Keep the germs out.
Keep it a germ. I don't know why the fuck. What am I doing anymore?
What is this silly podcast that we do? What's the point of this?
2 minutes of hate. That very famous, very favorite segment of the show where we like to punish all of those annoying, irritating, rage-inducing, if I may, things we see on the internet every single day. And I'm just going to go ahead and take the big one this week. Everything is cake.
Oh!
Hey, let me be real for a second, though. In times like these, life isn't exactly a piece of cake. But on Twitter, it seems like just about everything else is. I saw a video of someone taking a big knife and cutting into a shoe. And wouldn't you believe it, the shoe is a piece of cake.
What else was cake?
A balloon.
Name 3 other things. I'll wait.
Oh God! Now you're putting me on the spot here.
Oh, you're such a big fan of cake.
Name 3 pieces. I'll wait. Oh, you just said that.
Name 3 albums.
So yeah, everything is like I'm trying to think. Ian, what have you seen that's cake?
I saw a oh goodness. I saw it was this really funny sort of image online that was there was this guy and he had a knife and he was cutting into I think I saw a puppy.
Oh
yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
What the fuck?
So you think like, oh, just a normal guy cutting into a puppy? Nope.
Right.
Actually, it was cake.
My favorite is the meme of the dad, and he walks into the son's room and he's holding a knife.
One.
He's holding a knife, and he goes, "Hey son, are you cake?" And the son
good.
goes, "Dad."
You know, perhaps the better question is, what isn't cake these days?
Oh, freaking lie.
Oh, that one's okay. That one's kind of an inside joke for the gamers who listen.
For the gamers from 2011.
So everything is cake.
Yeah.
Has it made you guys want cake more than ever?
No.
It's made me want to kill myself, if I'm being honest. It's just made me realize that there's nothing fun about anything anymore, and it's just this sort of thing is just going to keep happening. And it's not it's not funny or good or cool. And the closer we get to death, it's kind of a cooler this doesn't have to end. Although what if heaven is just like all the shitty like popular memes? It's just like like St. Peter is like an epic soy face, like he has the fucking he's holding a Nintendo Switch at the
Heaven is r/advice animals on Reddit.
Oh man. Is that one I check in on that one sometimes. That and F7U12 or whatever.
All your favorite memes are up there in heaven. All your pets are there. They're doing the Harlem Shake.
Bad Luck Brian never sinned in purgatory.
Never got baptized.
Yeah, didn't pay for the freaking indulgences.
The college freshman. He's still a freshman because he died in freshman year.
Oh yeah, that was great. It just does something in college, and then his bad luck is he dies. If you ever see him and Bad Luck Brian in the same room, maybe get out of there.
I've been thinking about this a lot lately, but there's the whole idea that as culture sort of gets worse in a sense, art gets better. That's where you have like a really bad president and everyone's like, well, but the art is going to be magnificent. And it's just like,
yeah, think of the jokes.
Yeah, think of the jokes. And it's like, I've been thinking about just comedy in general lately. And I'm guilty of it. And I think every comedian's guilty of it. And I think that the internet in general is guilty of it to some degree, whether ironic or unironic. But everything's either some form of a very terrible dad joke, or it's just like, everything is cake. Isn't this hilarious? Everything is cake. And it's just like, man, this sucks.
I don't doubt that the good art is out there, but I definitely do not think it's getting like traction on the algorithm or whatever. Because I do feel like, as dumb as it is to say, but like a general overall like subjugation or hardness put on someone's life or a group of people's life, it does tend to, I would say there is like higher levels of like thought or art or culture or something, but
sure.
Like it's just not that's not the way that the internet is designed these days to like look for that stuff or boost that up, unless like that person is friends with someone who has clout. Or I think the biggest loophole through that is if you're hot.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I think the worst part of this whole cake thing is like, the amount of time that went into making a shoe look like a cake. Like, nobody thinks about that because, like, the videos are, what, 7 seconds long?
Right.
But, like, how long do they spend to make that cake look exactly like a shoe?
At least an entire day.
I saw one, it was like a toilet paper roll.
Yeah.
And at first, like, that was the very first one I saw. And I was like, why are they, like, I'm like, I guess, you know, I thought it was like some subversive thing. Like, oh, you know, the quarantine, we're just got a hot knife cutting through a roll of toilet paper. And then I saw frosting. That's the punchline to all this shit. It's like, and then I saw frosting.
I'm that one guy that's bent over his desk with one hand and then the other hand's banging on the desk because I'm laughing and crying. You all know.
Oh, how about this? How about this? It's the car salesman guy, and he's slapping a freaking roll of toilet paper, and he goes, "Yeah, you could fit one freaking whole cake in here."
God damn it.
So what's the punishment?
Birthdays are canceled. No more cake.
I mean,
we ruined it.
That's pretty much been a lot of people this year. Birthdays have been canceled.
Grant and I had birthdays during the last month.
Yeah.
And celebration was a little sparse, but you know, we did it.
The best we could.
I did have a little cake. Yeah.
Cut into a nice shoe.
I don't think I even had cake. Which I'm not like I'm nearly 30 years old. I'm not 30 yet. I'm not halfway dead yet, but
I am.
I'm nearly 30 years old. I don't need cake. I'm an adult. I can just drink 14 beers and just be fine with that. That's good enough.
What's the meme where it's like an image and there's impact font on it and it says, "Why not both?"
Oh yeah, it's from
no
the
los
commercial
dos.
That's like, or is it that
The Doritos commercial, right?
No, I thought it was like El Paso. They invented a new taco, like a new taco shell.
They just invented one?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like a halfway between like the hard shell taco and the soft shell taco. Is that right?
Oh, on that note, we're gonna get the taco news later on. But Ian,
Oh yeah, El Paso hard and soft tacos. Yeah. Holy shit.
you go.
I thought that was a Dorito. I never paid that much attention to the commercial. I was just like, yeah, there's that image. It's probably Doritos. I don't know.
No,
What's wrong with me?
I think I just remember seeing that one like on TV.
Yeah.
So I think that one I got the inside track and understanding that meme.
Speaking of the inside track, Ian, what's your 2 minutes of hate for us this week? What's bothering you?
So I kind of sold myself down the river because I kind of had this really funny bit planned where I was going to go, I actually don't have anything. I think things are going pretty good. And then I was going to say something like, oh, what about, let's use this 2 minutes of, let's do 2 minutes of silence for how much fun everyone's going to have this weekend.
All right.
But I kind of sold that out at the beginning when I kind of had the same I kind of did the same thing earlier in the show. So
It's
I
all
feel
very
like
meta so far.
I feel like it'd be kind of cheating to do that again, and you know I don't think it would fare too well. So my 2 minutes of hate is it can't even go to it can't no, I don't even want to go down pretending to be like a guy who's mad at the protesters, because that's not going to be a good clip to have isolated. And I don't want to make it serious by being mad at the cops, because they don't even need to say that they suck and they're awful. The people who don't wear masks, it would be good to be mad at them, but that's not going to change anything. That's not really going to do anything bad. Be mad at them. The beans, people who think the beans are important, I think that's kind of like, if you're paying attention to the beans thing, even I guess it's kind of funny, but like if you're actively like, don't eat Goya beans or eat the Goya beans, it's like more of a rice guy.
Right, same.
Yeah.
The more you keep talking about all these things, the more and more depressed I keep getting.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get you guys on my plane.
Oh god, it's horrible here.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And there's you could talk about the evictions that are happening, that will be happening. That you could definitely do 2 minutes on that. You could probably do just like all the you could get I know you could like get mad at all the black people who are getting killed or arrested, or the Gestapo who are just putting people in unmarked vans.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Mad.
What if you could mention like maybe the TikToks they're doing?
Oh, the TikTok cops, the Gestapo are doing TikToks.
Yep. God, there was this one I saw where it was like, God, I wish it's like this cop and he's in his car and he has like a baby voice and he's like showing the things where he's like, there's like a procedural like,
oh yeah,
and he's like, no, and then he's like got his like taser and he's like, yeah.
Yeah, you could get mad at that. I think it would be very funny if the Gestapo started doing like in their unmarked van, but they're doing like TikTok where they're like dancing to Meg Thee Stallion or something, and they're like, I don't know, it's garbage.
Yeah, I mean, like you said earlier, a lot of this is garbage, and I'm well aware of that, and just kind of online to do research to bring a smile to people's faces by doing this. Or
hey,
maybe...
let's put a smile on that.
Oh! I didn't realize I sounded like him.
Yeah, when you say positive stuff, you sound like the Joker.
That sucks, man. And it's true. It's true.
You could get mad at how the people who wanted to see the Joker and they never shot up anyone in the movie theater.
Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it is weird that people got so mad about all that shit and then like that never happened. But it's the selective choosing of what people get mad about or focus on or whatever. It's like it doesn't make sense, and it also makes sense because it's just like, I would say the mass populace like wants to buy into these social issues or something on like a lot of time on like the lowest common, like I'll buy into like seem like I'm doing something or I'm a good person, but then like kind of check out or like not have to do much else beyond that. And so with the beans, I feel like it's like a very easy thing to like yell at someone for buying a type of beans versus like, going out and protesting or like being in the streets or like, actually like contributing to a form of collective action. That's not
right.
Just like shaming someone. A cancel culture, you could get mad at that, or you could get mad at people who want to cancel culture. You could just kind of lose your mind and not really like, you could just kind of check out from your whole life. Right. Now's a good time to do that, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm pretty checked out.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest.
Oh, it sucks because it's like, you can I guess I feel like I'm in a checkout. Well, it sucks because it's like, I feel like even admitting it, it's like, I still have it very good compared to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And there's probably going to be something. Well, it just sucks because it's like there's a lot of stuff going on that should be enough to like get you out there or like radical. Like I hit the protests kind of hard when they were first happening, and then I feel like the media like kind of taking that away, and also just like focusing on. I graduated from a coding boot camp, so I've like get a job from that or whatever. But like it's like there's going to be more things that happen that will get people very upset and very mad. But it's like the Gestapo shit in Portland. That should be enough to like do that or whatever, Yeah,
I mean, like I know you say that you have it better than a lot of people, and I would say I am in the same position. But I mean, it's also, we got to acknowledge that like things are kind of hard.
Yeah, for sure. Especially when you if all this stuff is happening without a pandemic, that's one thing. But then the fact that like, I don't want to like die from just like catching something. Right.
Yeah, and I mean, I've heard, people talking to their grandparents who were like in their 80s or whatever the case, and even they're saying like, yeah, I've never seen anything like this in my life. So it's not even just like our generation. It's like no one really alive, at least who's lived in this country or for the majority of their lives, has really lived through something like this. And I would say, it's a global pandemic. So on a scale this large, no one's really seen something like that. And it's like, I don't know, man. Bottom line, I think the most frustrating thing is it feels like, and I'm sure you can relate, like life progress in a lot of ways feels like it's come to a halt,
Yeah.
Well, I think our idea of life progress at least in like America is so much based off of like advancement in career or like
true
a job or something. And now that that's taken away, Like, not that that was great on its own merits or whatever, but, that was also deeply tied to, like, how we run things. Like, you have to have a job to, like, have a house or, like, pretty much, like, exist in this society. And I think taking that away and then also taking people's, like, income and, like, ability to live decently up through the protests, like, that's definitely going to shake some things up. But I don't know. We'll see how this goes. It's going to be scary and bad, but I think potentially, it's very heartening to see so many people out in the streets still and like taking action
totally.
and all that. And I also imagine when you said you're talking to a grandparent and he said, I've never seen anything like this before. I just imagine you holding up a plate of avocado toast.
Yeah, they were like, you're not going to be buying a house with that.
Okay, get in the car. We're going to Applebee's.
Oh, God. Yeah, the Applebee's commercial. We're back. We missed you. But like, even
There's a stormtrooper at Applebee's. Welcome back.
But I mean, like, to note on just real quick to note on the whole halted progress thing. I don't even mean like just like career stuff, but also like creativity. And I mean like, getting out there to do stand up in person, or even for the podcast, we had a lot of cool and exciting ideas for this in 2020, and doing a lot more live shows and doing a lot more video content on the street, all kinds of things, and all that pretty much immediately as we thought of it was thrown out the window for the time being. So when we all get back up on our feet again, that's the plan. But I mean, it's frustrating.
I've been re-educationing people, so that's at least
true.
something.
That's true. By the way, if you, like I always say, if you haven't subscribed to Thought Cops on YouTube and you're listening to this right now, you're a bad listener.
We already have. We just hit over 300 subscribers, so that's pretty
Whoa,
good.
That's pretty good.
It could be better, but it's not terrible anymore.
That's pretty good for you two, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we set the bar pretty low, so
Yeah.
Well, I think it's always like there's like going from one platform to another, like with if whatever your highest thing is, like if it's Twitter or Discord or whatever your highest engagement is, whenever you go to a new thing, it's going to be a little slow on the uptick. But
Yeah.
Oh, and that reminds me too. I know I feel like this is all out of order, but show news, real quick. We also, I've been streaming again on the Thought Cops Twitch channel. I haven't done it for a long time because I've been very depressed, and I've been starting to do it again, and it's been fun and nice. So go subscribe on twitch.tv/thoughtcops. We're streaming some Animal Crossing with Nico recently, and some other GameCube classics. Or really whatever the heck I feel like. And it's just a good time. So come hang out, subscribe, find out when we're going live, and it's a good time. But real quick, Ian, you mentioned a whole lot of information there. So if you could sum it up in one succinct punishment.
And then shoot a silver bullet straight through its heart.
Ooh, silver bullet straight through its heart. A punishment for all that stuff. I would say the punishment is you have to watch the Scooby-Doo trailer for the new Scooby-Doo movie.
That's like the last piece of art we have. Isn't that kind of sad?
It is wild because it's also just have you seen the trailer for that?
The animated one?
Yeah, the new one that came out like a month or two ago.
Scoob?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like I like Will Forte. It's a bummer Lillard didn't get the part, but like, I think Will Forte as Shaggy is like an inspired choice or whatever. But you watch the trailer and it's just like everything. It is like so symbolic of like every bad, just like cranked out mainstream. Like you could take Scooby-Doo and all the characters out and any like Hanna-Barbera reference. And I feel like that's like the template or like the archetype for like modern movie or like movie in the past 3 years, because it's just like it's right for all these just like toothless pop culture references. Yeah, and like fucking they got Velma doing like a TikTok dance or like,
I saw like, Simon Cowell's in it in a cameo.
Yeah, he might as well be. It's like who
no, he is okay. I saw a clip,
but it's just like who is Simon Cowell to Scooby-Doo? Who is Simon Cowell to anyone in 2020? Like, it's just like these references that are like either market tested or their agent like got them a deal to be in this or whatever. And it's like Mark Wahlberg plays the Blue. I like the idea of Scooby-Doo and the Blue Falcon meeting up, but it's like Mark Wahlberg is the Blue Falcon and he like dabs and talks about like, you know, what he would do if he was at the frickin' the spooky park, if he was on that haunted plane ride, like what he would have done. But
I also hear they're trying to like build a Hanna-Barbera cinematic universe.
I would honestly, like, again, I would be fine with that if it was done like halfway decently. Like,
yeah,
because they got Dick Dastardly in there from like Wacky Races.
Yeah, and these are stuff that like are like I bet if I rewatched them since I was a kid, some of them probably don't hold up well or whatever. But it's like, yeah, I like these things, and like if you gave them to creative people or people that like even cared remotely about the IP, like it could be a lot of fun, and it would be a great way to like reintroduce people to these very fun, dumb characters. But it's just like Shaggy and Scooby are watching a movie in the movie, and Shaggy's like, "Gosh, Scoob, if it was a movie about me, I'd want The Rock to play me." Oh.
It's just like the Emoji Movie, but they did a palette swap.
Exactly. It's just so Shaggy is the hand, is James Corden or whatever. It's just like, it's that exact same fucking bullshit of like awful references, but with a new paint job. And it's just like mass production of like a big thing. And it will probably do fine. I don't know if it did well. It probably didn't do great because it's a pandemic, but.
I mean, I think it went straight to video, so I think it actually probably did do pretty well.
Yeah, but if it was in theaters, they probably would have made a sequel or whatever, because like kids just eat anything up.
And that's the thing too, is I hate the idea that adults can't criticize something like this because it's a kids movie. But I mean, I think kids deserve better than a fucking TikTok Simon Cowell Scooby-Doo movie.
Well, yeah, it's just soulless metrics like making a movie, and like, sure, it is like on paper, like an adult criticizing the new Scooby-Doo movie is like funny and pathetic and lame. But I definitely agree that like if this is the tripe that we're serving our kids, like it is for, I don't know off the top of my head, like a homogenized mass culture where like everyone just like, us growing up, we had like some semblance of that. But like with more apps and more online, like there's so much more minutia that's being like tightly fine-tuned to like just have it be like this is culture. Like there isn't really as much fringe culture, but there might be a reaction to that where there are these great sub pockets or of like counter culture to that. Like I do think that some of the younger generation is a little more hip to that stuff than we are and like aware of that.
Yeah.
But
I want to say, hey, there may not be a lot of fringe culture, but there's a whole lot of cringe culture.
Oh,
methinks the kids
Zwick, delete this
are going to be all right.
Oh no! Grant, what do you got this week?
Was that 2 minutes? Was that 2 minutes already?
Yeah. Let me check my watch. Yes.
It was. Okay. Yeah, actually, it was 1:59.
Oh wow, just in there.
Yeah.
This is sort of based on an older tweet that I tweeted out like 2 weeks ago, but I was scrolling through the Twitter one day and
as you do,
as I do most days, and left-wing Twitter was complaining about Breaking Bad for some reason, and I can't even remember where it originated, and someone was like, yeah, I watched Breaking Bad, it's bad, and then other people were like...
It's in the name. What do you expect?
Yeah, come on. It's not called Breaking Good. There should be a Breaking Good. That'd be amazing. And then the only real criticism that I saw leveraged against it was people calling it overrated. And for some reason, it like set something off inside of me where like... That's the laziest criticism I think anyone can leverage against literally everything is like, oh, everybody likes this. It's culturally ubiquitous. It has this massive cult following, but I don't like it as much as everybody else seems to. I like it. Sure, I like it. Sure, it's good. On its own merits, it's good, but people are... me as an enlightened individual, I am above the the stupid Philistine plebeians that think that this is the highest form of art. I think that it's okay, it's good, but it's overrated.
But like, what the fuck does that mean even on its own merits?
I don't know.
People say this bullshit, and like, if you question like what that means specifically, they're like, oh, the merits.
What that means is I am sick of people talking about the show I haven't seen, and I watched one episode so I could react to everyone and allow myself to be defined by my difference of opinion.
Well, yeah, one guy on Twitter in his defense was like, yeah, I watched the first season and it sucked. It's like, well,
I mean, it gets a lot better.
Yeah, and like, I think there were 5 seasons?
5.5.
5.5.
They split the 5th season into 2.
Okay,
seasons.
yeah, I watched it a lot later, so but yeah, I mean, I think season 4 was probably the best. Season 4 was at the very least my favorite, but I hate it. It's the same thing with I feel like Anthony Fantano a lot will delve in, not like to criticize him, but he'll do those things where he goes like, he'll put out a tweet that's like, let's argue, post a thought that you have, and then I'll make a video about it. And I feel like people like him or people within like music criticism will delve into the topic of like, are the Beatles overrated? And it's just like, what does it matter? Their cultural importance is of importance based on the fact that we've deemed it important, and enough people like it to sort of like propagate that to the extent that it's, to the extent that it's at. But it's just like either you like them or you don't. But why do you put so much fucking thought into other people like this, and I have to set myself apart from it by showing my appreciation? And of course, they were of a certain level that makes people like them to a certain extent. But me, an enlightened being, thinks that they're overrated. That's the best criticism.
I can tell you why, because fucking life sucks right now, and people are struggling to find any sort of identity. And like, if not liking Breaking Bad is,
or the Beatles,
something, or like The Godfather, it's like, if that makes them like feel like their existence is worthwhile in all this garbage, then they're gonna just say it,
Well, that type of person definitely existed before all of this. And not to say that their life wasn't, not to say that their life wasn't garbage or wasn't shitty back then too, but like, I will say that like I sort of identify, not like, I think overrated is like the term that I don't really use, because I don't really know what that means, but like,
I feel like it's just like lazy that you can't.
No, right.
You can't like discuss things in terms of it being like, well, I thought that the cinematography in Breaking Bad sucked and was subpar, and people like to talk about it, but I think that it was like,
that would be valid,
That's a valid criticism.
If
that's how you want to argue it, like, fine, but like saying like, it's just too vague to mean anything.
No, that type of guy is just purely reactionary to like, you don't want to find out why people like this, and you don't want to like, you've it's just kind of like this weird sunk cost thing where like you've probably already like virtue signaled that you don't like the show, or that like you like don't care for it, or you have this preconceived notion, and you're not going to find out why people like it, and instead like double down on your preconceived notions of it. But I would say that like that I sort of identify with that with music, when it's like, I feel like before Kings of, not to like be hipster annoying or whatever, but like to put it in words, I do feel like, before like Kings of Leon blew up, or like Mumford & Sons, like I like those, listening to those tracks or whatever, but then like once it gets to that like mega like level of fame where it's like, whether or not you choose to listen to the song, you're gonna hear it, and then you're gonna hear like annoying people like kind of gush about it or whatever. It's just like, it kind of like not to say that like you can't like something if everyone else likes it or whatever, but like, it just kind of like, I'm going to hear the song whether I choose to listen to it or not. Yeah. And then like, I do feel like you're kind of robbed of your agency of like, not that like the song still can't be special to you, but like, I don't know. It just kind of gets annoying when it's like on every like.
Yeah, it gets diluted.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think that music is certainly a different sort of case with that, because like you said, you're robbed of your agency. And as someone who's worked a lot of retail in the past, it's like, yeah, you hear the same one song 100,000 times, and like it's not like you going onto Netflix and choosing that you want to watch a TV show or a movie. It's any store that you walk into, it's just sort of thrust upon you. And there is a large sort of like, monetary reason as to why that happens and why every store plays the same 10 songs that are in the top 40, on the radio, because, there's a monetary incentive to do that. But like, I feel like there's a little bit of a difference with music in particular. Yeah,
I think a big difference is like, I'm not saying that stuff is like overrated is like the term that I don't know. Like I understand why that song is popular, or like it's a good song, or it's like catchy or whatever. Like I get why a lot of people like it, but like, yeah, like saying, and especially when it's like you're not like walking into a fucking Eddie Bauer and there's like Breaking Bad playing over the loudspeakers, like boom, boom. You're not going to get subjected to watching that show. Right. The only thing is just like you're tired of people talking about a show you haven't seen, and you want to now like not have to invest all that time or like admit you were wrong or that they were right or something.
I feel like
and that's like. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I feel like what you're saying is like maybe more oversaturation than overrated, because especially with music, it's like, it gets to the point where a certain song, where a certain Rihanna song is played everywhere on everything. It's in every commercial. It's in every store you walk into. And it's like, it's an oversaturation to the point where people get like literally sick of listening to the same shit,
Well, it's weird. I go to the Food Smart by my house, and every time I go in there, it's always a TikTok song. And so it's weird, like, there's just always... I mean, it makes sense that those are the popular songs, but it's weird how, like, this new media has kind of commandeered this, or this old media is, like, adapting by, like, taking all of the songs from TikTok and, like, just playing them fully. But it's like, I guess that's what either people want to hear or, like, their managers are telling them to play, but, like...
They're just savages. They're classic. They're bougie. Sometimes they're even ratchet. I don't know.
So to sum it up, Grant, I know we maybe got a little further from the point than you have intended.
Right.
But
well, that's the show.
Maybe that would help you. Yeah.
I guess my punishment for people who use the criticism that something is overrated with lending no other, like, if you're going to use that as an entry point into a discussion, fine. But if your only criticism of something is like that it's overrated and you're just using that to like show to distance yourself from other people that like a thing that is popular, that's the only criticism you can sort of leverage against that thing, then I think you should have to read the entire dictionary front to back and learn a couple new words so that you can better explain your thought process behind things. You'll learn a couple words, you'll learn a couple new things, and then maybe when you criticize things, you'll have a bit more of a robust way of doing so.
Or even like a thesaurus,
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Thesaurus. What did Jurassic Park break out or something?
Yeah, there's a new, I think, Jurassic World 2. Chris Pratt, he's like putting his arms out, and there's several thesauri. That's right. That's the plural form of it. Are surrounding him.
And then he rides a motorcycle alongside them.
Anyway, that was a very, very beefy 2 minutes of hate segment. So let's get right along to the meat and potatoes of the show.
Beefy meat and potatoes. What is this? The menu getting deleted from Taco Bell?
No, this is the Femboys Hooters menu.
Oh, okay. What is the mix up? Is it Goth Taco Bell? What's the?
It's Molgoth. I don't know.
Milf IHOP.
Moloch Taco Bell. Ooh,
if you haven't listened,
wait.
Go ahead.
I lost it.
Damn it!
Oh, Rorschach Taco Bell.
Oh, okay. I could see when Rorschach wants to order something at Taco Bell, the shape on his mask changes to the item he would like.
Yeah, and the Taco Bell employees go and they look up at me and they scream, "Would you like to make that a combo meal?" And I'll look down at them and I'll say, "No."
Just a Sprite, please. Anyway, if you haven't listened to Thought Cops before, every week we investigate the internet's outrage-inducing news stories, and then we sentence each perpetrator to a cruel and often quite unusual punishment. Let's just talk about the Taco Bell thing real quick, just because...
Before we I guess we can get to the Taco Bell thing, but I have like a real quick story update.
Okay.
If Zwick, if you have a sound effect that goes, that. So we talked last episode about the Harper's letter that was like the letter about cancel culture, and all of these celebrities signed it. Quick update: they left a couple people out that signed it because they didn't want to be associated with them. I guess in particular, Glenn Greenwald, the journalist for The Intercept. The person who wrote the letter admitted that he was kept off the list because other signees didn't like his views and didn't want to be associated with him, which is hilarious because they effectively canceled him. So I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. 'Cause I feel like recently, I've seen posts by Glenn Greenwald and heard him on podcasts where it's like, oh, this guy's good views. And I think probably objectively he still is overall pretty good. But him signing that letter and a few other things recently, it's like,
I mean, he's sort of back and forth. I have differing opinions on different things that I don't know, like anybody else. But I just think that it's funny that all these people were like, oh, we're against cancel culture. And he's like, me too. And they're like, well, not yet. There's nothing that I don't think inherently offensive. It's not like Adolf Hitler signed it and they're like, ooh, we're on the wrong side of history here.
Well, maybe he would if he didn't kill himself. If we didn't drive him to kill himself.
If he didn't have mental health issues.
It's okay not to be okay.
He wasn't staying hydrated.
You know what? No one talks about that part of history, but I'm sure of it. He wasn't drinking a glass of water, as Jomny's son might say. But speaking of cancel culture, a document leaked this week saying that Taco Bell was nerfing its menu to simplify operations. Now, I'm going to read you.
It was OP.
Yeah, I'm going to read you some of these items that Taco Bell deemed to be OP or overpowered. Some of these items are the grilled steak soft taco, the 7-layer burrito, Nacho Supreme, Beefy Fritos Burrito, Spicy Tostada, Triple Layer Nachos, Spicy Potato Soft Taco, Cheesy Fiesta Potatoes, Cheesy Potato Loaded Griller, Beefy Nacho Loaded Griller, Mini Skillet Bowl, Breakfast, and all 3 of its chips and dip with nacho cheese, guacamole, and pico de gallo.
Hey,
also the quesarito.
Hey, Kevin, what kind of cheese doesn't belong to you?
Scratching my head. Not sure, Grant. What is it?
From Unda cheese.
Yeah, that's not yours. That's mine.
Fuck. That's
I wrote my name on it in the fridge.
I saw that, and I want to apologize. I was eating some late last night. So this is people are very, very upset about this.
I think there is definitely stuff to be upset about. The Fiesta potatoes. My girlfriend's gonna be mad about that. Did you say that you know what I've been really loving is they have this $1 shredded chicken mini quesadilla. I think it got changed to a mini cheese chicken wrap or something, but it's still very good, and especially for $1.
Sure.
Yeah. And I feel like the cheese is a little bit different on that. And I like having that, and I add the delicious red strips to that.
Well, I think they're getting rid of the strips. I think. Well, maybe not. I mean, it's just the beefy Fritos burrito, and I don't know if the strips are Fritos or just red colored strips.
I will say that it sucks, and people have a right to get mad. But I would also say that I feel like I trust Taco Bell more than other fast food restaurants to. I think they know what they're doing, and they're not going to stop making the weird stuff that we like. They're getting rid of some heavy hitters for sure, and that sucks. But they will probably revamp some. They'll probably bring them back for promotional periods.
It'll be like a secret menu item.
Yeah, or you have to subscribe to their Patreon to get the beefy Frito wrap
for only $10 a month. You can subscribe and get a spicy tostada.
I mean, it's like at the end of the day, like none of us should be eating at Taco Bell. Yeah,
Right.
maybe that's what they're trying to say. Like you know, don't come here anymore. This isn't good for you.
I haven't been to
Well,
Taco,
Taco
Bell
Bell
in
is
like
like
8 months.
I haven't been in a bit, but it is like, I mean, if you're getting if you're loading up, it's definitely not good for you. But it is like one of the better choices. Like if you're smart about what you order.
I have heard that.
And like some vegan friends, like you can eat vegan there. Like I do appreciate.
Not anymore though. I mean, if they're getting rid of all the potato stuff, I mean, it's going to be a lot harder to find something on the menu.
Yeah, you got to do a lot of beans and refried beans.
And be careful of.
I walked into that.
You know.
one.
Tug's collar.
Yeah.
Tug Scholar, who's that? That sounds like a character.
That would be a great character.
Yeah.
Studs Turkle, but Tug's Collar.
He's like a real nervous guy. Anyway, what were you saying?
I was just gonna say, personally, for me, so a lot of the stuff that it's like it's good, but if you as long as you don't touch the Crunchwrap Supreme and you give me a couple chalupas for if I'm feeling kind of good that day and I want to not feel good. If you got those things and then a couple more value menu stuff, because it's like, I think, I forget where I heard this, but like, it is all kind of the same. It's like fun how it's prepared differently. And they do have some like different stuff, but like, it's really about like, it's a vehicle for the different sauces. And if you can if you got the Crunchwrap Supreme, I think it's definitely a top 5 fast food item of all time.
It is. Dude, have you ever had the breakfast Crunchwrap Supreme?
I think I did one time and it was great.
It is a great menu item.
Yeah. And I saw a friend he was making like basically a Crunchwrap Supreme, but it was all carbs, like chips and a bagel and like Doritos in it and shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and wrapped in a tortilla. But I thought he was, I got confused looking at the picture. I thought he was making like a Crunchwrap Supreme, but with like a Big Mac or a McDonald's burger as the base. And that kind of got me thinking about where you could take that, as long as you're not getting into too much of that, like, what was that obnoxious like fast food show where they just made a bunch of really gross?
Oh God, what the hell was that called?
Epic Mealtime.
Oh God.
Yes.
Like it's like some of that stuff's a little too far, but like if you made a Crunchwrap and you put like a freaking cheeseburger in there, I mean, heck.
I mean, that's like a once every 10 years indulgence, but I'm not saying I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like I said, people are upset about this. Taco Bell has been nixing several items from their menu recently, such as the Cool Ranch Doritos Locos Tacos.
They've been nixing some. They can go their own way. Stevie Nicks.
Or those men on the internet.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm very aware of those guys.
I just want to hear Gavin McGinnis cover that song. You can go your own way.
I don't want to hear him cover that song.
Yeah,
at least they haven't gotten rid of Baja Blast yet, which is Baja Blast only served at Taco Bell now?
No, I've seen it. You can buy it at convenience stores.
Really? I haven't seen it
in
decades, in centuries even.
Also, you know the Taco Bell cantinas, you can't get alcohol there anymore because you can only drink the alcohol inside of the restaurant, and since there's no dine-in options anymore.
Oh, shit.
Fuck that.
I tried to a week ago, and they told me no.
What's the point in them existing? I thought that Chicago passed a new law that said that you can order alcohol out.
Yeah, you can maybe get it delivered.
Well, maybe so, but I mean, like,
you can't take it on the street.
We need to have street drinking laws. It's fucking stupid. If I want to walk down the street and drink, I will anyway, you know?
Yeah, remember that episode we recorded remotely when I was in Japan?
Yeah.
I was just walking around Tokyo with a fully open tall boy of sake in a can.
Yeah.
And just recording an episode, just walking around, and nobody gave a shit.
Right. There's nothing wrong. Like, if I want to do that here, I'll just pour it into like a Starbucks reusable cup or something. But it's just like, what does it matter? What do you care if I do this or not?
Speaking of what do you care, I think the punishment here is simply Taco Bell just doesn't want us to go back. And like I said, we probably shouldn't.
I have a punishment that I think you can sort of addend to that I think will make people not want to go back.
Okay.
All the menu items change to cake. So people show up and they're like, hey, let me get a taco. And they're like, we only have cake. And you get sad.
No, that's not going to be Hey, I paid for a taco, and there's I cut into it, and then for some reason they're cutting into it, and I got a lot of frosting in there.
Yeah, people are going to be disappointed, and naturally they're just going to stop going.
And hey, to that I say, why not both?
I thought you were gonna say let them eat cake. Why? We should have said that like half hour ago.
Yeah. Well, hindsight. Hindsight is 2020, baby.
Fuck.
Should have said that.
Anyway,
6 months ago.
Speaking of food, beans, the magical fruit.
Please.
The more you eat, the more you get canceled. So what's does anyone know about this? I don't know a single thing about it.
Yeah, so the president of Goya Beans said basically like we're so lucky to have Trump. I love Trump. I love the American president. Ha 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 ha. Basically just like blowing a bunch of smoke up his ass. And then the Trump campaign, so when that happened, then a bunch of liberals on Twitter were like, nobody eat Goya beans. If you eat the beans, you're helping Trump get reelected. And then so there was backlash from that. And then from there, Ivanka Trump took a picture holding a can of beans and being like, delicioso, mis frijoles favoritos.
I love Mexicans.
Yes, pretty much.
Well, and then Donald Trump also took a picture with a desk full of beans.
Yeah, it's like the Mexican, like the taco bowl picture that he took.
Exactly.
I love the Mexican people, but then it's like these people are now eating beans to own liberals, and liberals are like the Chelsea Handler did a side-by-side picture where she dressed up like Ivanka Trump holding the beans, but she's holding like a different bean company's beans, and be like, this is a non-racist bean to eat, and it's also owned by like some horrible company. So it's like, it's just like it's this dumb. It's like everything's politicized, but also it's a dumb thing that you can sink your teeth into and post about and get mad about without it like having to actually spend your energy on like a collective action or like something that actually is good or
right.
Because it's like choosing the right bean. There's no good bean company probably unless like you're like it's a like farmer's market or whatever.
Unless it's a magic bean, you could grow a beanstalk.
Fee fi fo fum. I smell a good reference. And
how about this? Fee fi fo fum. I just liked a tweet by David Frum. How about that?
What about this?
How do you like
Fee fi
that?
fo fum, whatever he says in that episode of Rick and Morty.
I've turned myself into cum. How about that?
Nemo in the chat says that was good. I don't know what he was referring to. I can only assume
Probably
it was
the whole
all
episode.
Yeah.
How about this?
Oh, he said from. I think it was Grant's.
How about this? Fee fi fo fum. Kofifi drumph. How about that?
Zwick, cut that out. That's
Zwick, delete my audio, please.
Yeah.
Very embarrassed.
I don't want anyone to isolate that.
Zwick, isolate that especially. Make that louder. What the fuck are we talking? Oh, fucking beans. You know, at this point, I would rather fight a literal civil war where someone handed me a gun and said, go march to the south and like fight in a war. I would rather fight a literal civil war than this stupid fucking culture war over beans. It's the stupidest thing I think I've ever witnessed. It just keeps getting stupider.
Yeah, well, it's all these people who are just it's like it's just so weird because it's all like it doesn't mean anything, it doesn't do anything, and it's like tied with cancel culture, but like, you know, they're canceling cancel culture. They don't want that, but like you can cancel someone for eating the wrong bean, but it doesn't do anything because it's not like actually affecting chains. It's not like helping people fight the pandemic. It's not helping people not get evicted. It's not helping people like keep
from
their
all
jobs.
sides.
It's a fucking psyop, man.
I mean, it probably
was.
It feels like it could be like a psyop that was discovered when like they just had some poster guy at CIA and they're like, hey, people get mad about dumb stuff. Like, try fucking around with that a little bit more. And the guy's like, oh,
I mean, at this point, yeah, I put zero doubt behind the fact that that's probably true to a very large degree. Yeah, I'm so depressed. I'm so sad all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, I got a VR rig a little bit ago, and with graduating from this coding boot camp, like not that I'm at all at this level, but like if I could get if I could program like any sort of like a virtual, like if I could do like if I could plug myself back into a matrix like 1999 or whatever, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Like if you give me a food tube and like a fuck core or something, like
Right.
I'm good. You don't even have to put a bedpan under me. I'll just poop my pants. I don't care.
Right. I'll take a freaking diaper.
Yeah.
Because I like, sexually.
Yeah, I'm just a big baby. Everyone's a big baby.
So, beans, they're done. My punishment is Taco Bell beans reference to the last story.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, no,
That's all
that's
I got.
great. That wasn't even a complete sentence in any sort of like well-developed thought. Like whatever. I don't care. I care so
What do
little
you-
about this that I can't even develop a thought. So let's move on.
Should we talk about the war on the check marks?
Yes. Yes.
So this past Wednesday, as of this recording, there was some kind of Twitter hack, and if you had a check mark, if you're a verified user on Twitter, you couldn't tweet. You could only retweet, but you couldn't make a new tweet, basically. So there was basically a day of anarchy and chaos on Twitter.com, where it was nothing but us low-life, scum of the earth, non-verified Twitter users.
Philistines were called.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I guess there's a bunch of law investigations trying to find out what happened. I don't know. Perhaps Russian bots. I don't know. So I guess, the whole thing got compromised. I don't know why it was only the check marks. Probably could have researched this a little more at a time, but
Who cares? I can't even open the article because it's slowing my computer down too much. So
Jesus Christ.
You tell me what happened. I mean, aside from just everyone logged on to Twitter, and there were a bunch of, if you saw the messages, it was like Elon Musk had a tweet that was like, "Hey, I'm looking to give back to my community. If you send me Bitcoins to this address, I'll give you back double." Which is like, don't do that.
But it was him. It was Kanye. It was Biden.
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates. All of your problematic faves. So I think what Twitter's action was that they temporarily deleted verifieds, or they stopped their ability to post.
Yeah. They basically sort of shadow banned, I guess, them.
Yeah.
Sort of.
They could retweet still. But, my problem was, I log on, I see that. I don't know who to vote for. I don't have anyone telling me who I should be voting for, or if I should even vote.
It's true.
I didn't know what I was supposed to do.
Yeah, where am I supposed to Pokemon Go?
Pokemon Goya to the beans.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
I'm so depressed. The bean thing really took all of the wind out of my sails.
I can't, I don't, this isn't, I don't know if it's even good to admit, but just I'm horrified by things. I'm not surprised by anything.
Right.
I'm at a level where it's just I feel like we've already had a bean thing, or I feel like we've already had a cake. I feel like that cake thing has been surprising cakes. It maybe wasn't on that level.
Time's a flat circle.
It really is, and it just keeps happening. But just anything that happens now, when Kanye says he's running for president, yeah, of course he is. When some I'm just not surprised by anything, and anything that just seems like I shouldn't pay attention to it. I'm just I'm not there.
Yeah, or it's the bean thing reminds me of when Chick-fil-A, when they found out that they were supporting homophobic whatever the story was. I can't even remember. It was 8 years ago or something like that. And then there was a line out the door of conservatives that were supporting Chick-fil-A. And it's just man, it's a fast food place. But they've distilled that into an even stupider thing, which is at least a fast food place, you can stop by and get a quick sandwich. You're talking about an 89-cent can of beans. I can't find it in my heart to care any less than I possibly could. And they're equating buying a can of beans to patriotism. It's just melting my fucking brain.
Well, Well, for conservatives, it's like kind of good optics to like latch onto this because it's like, oh, we're not racist. We love the Mexican people's beans. Like they have like a very see-through but like pseudo cloak nonetheless to like grab onto a not white cultural thing for like a second. But like, yeah, I mean, it's that is just basically like, how do you define yourself by what you buy or don't buy?
Yeah.
And then how someone reacts to that and then what you do in reaction to their reaction. It's just like, it's purely reactive politics because there's nothing, they don't want to do anything. Or like, there's like, they don't know if they're so down the totem pole that they don't know that they can do anything.
Right.
Or like that there's anything else to do besides listen to these people. Or just like, yeah, you know, like I think a big reason why like there's a lot of like it's just hypocrisy on both sides, and it's just we've been unpaused on that experiment of like how do you react to a reaction, and just like going back and forth of just like how stupid can you be? And
speaking of that, yeah. my punishment is Twitter communism. Just give all of us check marks.
Yeah, all of us check marks or none of us check marks.
Just like give us all check marks and lock all of us out.
Once everyone's a check mark, no one's special.
I mean,
who checks the check marks?
The check mark.
Rorschach.
The check mark's sort of like a newer thing, though, too, right? I mean, because Twitter's been around since, what, 2009 or 10?
No, it's not new.
It's not new, but it's newer because the platform's been around for a while. When was the check mark around? Like 5 years ago?
No, longer than that, for sure.
When? I need to know. I need answers.
I mean, look it up, man.
Twitter, when did verification happen?
Hey, do you remember when the GOP tweeted a picture of Rosa Parks and said, "Hey, Rosa Parks, thank you for ending racism"? Do you remember? That was like back in 2012.
Grant, is there any stories you want to get to, or should we just...
Yeah, I got a story right here. I think it happened in 2017. They started verifying people.
No way.
When Twitter granted the badge this week to a white supremacist, it was a little wonder. Oh, so that's when they took it away from Richard Spencer. But when did it happen? When did it start? I need to get to the bottom of this. I don't know. I don't care anymore, actually.
Any more stories you want to get to, Grant?
Yeah, could we do the Apple laptop one real quick?
Yeah.
Oh, what's this one?
This sort of came up and then dwindled down pretty quickly, but New York Post put out an article that said covering up the camera could damage your laptop. Apple.
Right. Apple, more like crapple.
Yeah, more like no, that one was better than anything I could come up with. Putting a sticker, post-it note, or other covering in front of the camera itself impedes the tightly designed computer's ability to close and could shatter the screen. Putting a sticker on a piece of glass could shatter the screen, says Apple. A lot of people were pretty quick to point out that, like, you know, Edward Snowden pretty much proved time and time again that, like, the NSA could access your webcam at any point in time, like, you know, and spy on you, and that they do that routinely. And so people started covering up their laptop. Like, I think Mark Zuckerberg famously had a cover over his webcam on his computer, and it's like, well, we know that you're using this to access this remotely, and you're using it to spy on people, and I guess routinely the NSA would like pass around like naked pictures of people or whatever the fuck. And so people started doing this, and now Apple's like, well, actually don't do that, because you won't be able to use Retina mode, and it could possibly, you might get like it might get sticky, and it might be bad for your laptop. And everyone was like, hey, this is bullshit PR stuff.
Oh, like nobody else has a sticky laptop.
Okay.
Is your laptop especially sticky, Kevin? All right.
Yeah, it's very stupid that they, did that, and there's no, it's such a dumb ploy to get people to there's no trust. No one trusts like any bigger. Well, that's not true, but I think everyone very clearly sees through Apple's thing there, and
Right.
it's just such a lazy like.
I mean, almost immediately, as soon as I saw this like post go out, like people were retweeting it saying like, yeah, this is bullshit. Why are they doing that? To what degree was this that big of an issue that this needed to be like written in the first place? Like, oh, I keep breaking my camera screen because of a sticker that I put on my camera.
Hey, I mean, I will say, with Apple's planned obsolescence, I wouldn't be surprised if it actually did potentially like crack the screen or something. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think the NSA guys just are tired of jerking off to the same fucking like Instagram videos or
Right.
like, laptop, whatever. And they just want some new. They want some new FAP material.
God damn it.
FAP. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. That guy at his desk
Yeah, so funny.
with one hand underneath it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, I don't know about you guys, but I put a sticker over my Game Boy camera. I don't want them spying on me.
I found my Game Boy camera recently, and I was kind of tooling around with that recently. It's fun.
That thing was so cool, man.
Yeah, and the little printer, and then they had like some things that you could like have I had the printer and like a bunch of rolls of stickers too, but just like I was never good or creative enough to make anything that like looked cool other than just like.
I think in like Link's Awakening, you could like there was a camera item and you could like print off. I mean, they were like preconceived like pictures, but you could still print them off.
Yeah, and I think in like Pokemon Red and Blue or maybe Yellow, you could print off like sprites.
Yeah, I think.
And like I think your certificate at the end.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty amazing how like rudimentary that technology was, but it still like worked surprisingly well.
Yeah, it was solid, and it was like it's. I'm looking at a picture of it now. It's like a big chunky white.
Yeah.
With the red Game Boy button. Excuse me, man, got the burps over here.
Okay. Punishment for this.
That's all I got to say about Apple. Yeah, I don't know. Punishment: change your name to Crapple. I don't care. I don't care about any of this anymore.
Let's move on to our key to the city this week. We'd like to, something nice for God's sake, something cool. Let's talk about it. My key to the city this week goes to the Instagram account Simpsons Meme Factory.
Oh, they're good.
Yeah, I was going to say, Ian, I think you follow these guys too. It's Simpsons_meme_factory. It's a bunch of highly specific Simpsons references and memes from like the first like 10 seasons. And if you are a fan of the classic Simpsons and you've seen them as many times as I have, it's extremely funny and I recommend it.
Well, I feel like it's if you ever were in like the real heyday of Simpsons shit posting from like 2016, and it was probably before that, but like I feel like 2016 to 2018 or 19 was like when it was really, really popping off in a good way. Like, you may have seen a ton of like memes from that, or if you're familiar with the Simpsons shit posts, I feel like the Meme Factory takes what was popular on the shit posts and like starts mixing up like shit posts together, but like it's not like hyper specific where you really just have to have watched the Simpsons like the first 10 seasons. Like if you're that type of person who watched those all the time and like knows those references, they just do a really great job of like mixing the memeified references together in ways that are very creative but not like super diluted where you don't necessarily know what's not going on.
Now, Ian, what did you have this week for a key to the city?
Key to the city, I'm going to give it to video games.
Hell yeah.
That is how once I graduated from this boot camp, it's kind of been what I've been doing most of my time. I've just been kind of getting back into video games. It's not the best, but I've been getting a little bit back into Hearthstone just because I think it's nice to have like a little daily quest thing that you can just kind of do a few games and check out.
Yeah.
I've gotten really into Stellaris. If you like Civ, any of those like strategy, like turn-based strategy games, Stellaris is by the guys who did Crusader Kings and like Europea Universia or whatever. I've never played those. This is the first of this type of game by them that I've played, but it's just basically like Civ but in space. And so you can design like your own race of species. And like you can give them like genetic traits or features that will like make them better at like harvesting minerals or make them better at like leadership qualities or better at reproducing or taking up housing and like make that more efficient. But then you design that, and you design like your starting planet, and you design like your starting like governance values and like civics, and there's just all these little like fucking like little rules and minutia and just like things that you can kind of tweak and fine tune to make your like government and species work the best. And then you explore your galaxy, you run into other civilizations or whatever. But what really makes it fun is that like civilization, it's fun, and I like that it's not like you have to fucking be on Adderall and like clicking all the time like Age of Empires or StarCraft or something.
Or Cookie Clicker.
Shut up.
Cookie Clicker. But this is like, it's like a real-time strategy in that like it'll keep going, but you can pause it to like click in on your cities and like change what buildings you want to have on your planet, or like there's like a lot you can pause and like customize, and there's just like so much minutia you can get into, and you can pause it anytime. You can also play online with friends, and like you can kind of go at a speed and be like kind of upkeeping and whatever. And I've only played, I think I'm like just getting to the mid game of my first game, and I've been playing for like almost like 3 days straight.
I know you and I played a decent amount of Animal Crossing as well at the beginning of all this.
Yeah, I'm bummed that I just have not given myself any time to like get back in. Like I stopped playing when like the protests started happening, and I just like couldn't really focus on it. I was also I was about to hit a wall with that, just because like there wasn't much achievement that I could do beyond just like my own customization, which is kind of like the point of the game. But also like when you're not like unlocking stuff, or like you kind of when you there is sort of like a wall of like stuff to do that isn't just like, okay, now I have to like plan. When you have to plan stuff, it's like I maybe have some fun ideas, but like I'm very much sporadic and in the moment. And
yeah, I checked out for a while and got back in, and I'm having some fun again.
Yeah, are you liking the diving?
Yeah.
That's
cool.
Yeah.
Grant, what do you got for us this week? Key to the City. Give us something nice.
I'll start with something sad and then something nice. My copy of Animal Crossing never shipped.
Hey, what the fuck? What happened?
So is it? I don't know how many listeners are aware of it, but I talked about it in depth in the Discord, which is I was posting a bunch of stupid things that my sister was saying on Facebook, and then I basically bullied her into buying me Animal Crossing. But I wanted the physical copy because I got to have those physical copies. I love physical copies. And they were like, oh, it'll take a month to ship out because it's back ordered and blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, it's going to take some time. And then it was like, oh, 2 months out. And then they're just like, oh, we're just never going to ship you this game ever. And I just don't have it. And at this point, I feel like I don't even want it because I feel like everyone's done playing with it already. I missed my opportunity. So that's my key to the shitty. But my key to the city goes to the Census Cowboy. Have you guys seen the Census Cowboy?
Census cowboys are coming to your town.
When I was a kid, I loved the Batman TV show. And when
so this is the mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot,
had a real
talking about
difficult
Batman.
challenge.
Talking about Batman.
The mayor there did is he called out and he sent out the distress signal to Batman. So
the mayor did that, or the
we are doing
Commissioner
something
Gordon?
similar for the census.
Well, she said she's a fan, so
And
she
I'm
pulls
happy to
out
report
a large lime green
I'm
cowboy
calling out
hat.
the census cowboy.
Woo! Oh shit!
So, if you see the census cowboy
And Old Town
coming
Road
to
is
your
playing,
neighborhood,
right?
That's
Yeah.
not a good thing. That means you got to step up and do your part and make sure that you fill out the census. He's going to be going to the 10 communities across Chicago that have the lowest census response rate. And it's time to
I love
giddy
that
up.
time and money
Let's
is
do
being
this,
spent on
Chicago.
this and not like,
Let's make the census cowboy
making sure
proud.
students don't have
Thank
to
you
go
very
back to
much, sir.
school in the fall, or the police getting
right.
funded, or...
Well, I get to a certain point because the census does need to be filled out in order for like funding to happen, like proper funding to be happen, to happen, and it's also only done every 10 years. So like, I get it.
It is important.
I get it. And I think from a PR standpoint, yeah, it's good. But like, I'm not going to lie. Her putting on that cowboy hat and saying it's time to giddy up, and now there's a new Chicago folklore character called the Census Cowboy, has destroyed my brain more so than Goya has. It's just too much that I'm taking in at all hours of the day, and I just hope that as fondly as I remember the Eagle Man commercials of the early 90s, I hope that someone looks back at the Census Cowboy and was like, wow, what a time to be alive.
Yeah, it does seem like it'd be like a little tiny fun footnote in a history book of Chicago of like, in 2020, the mayor did the Census Cowboy. People didn't like it.
Well, I guess like I feel like all this stuff happening now is it's all like so insincere and like too aware. It's like Eagle Man was like, it's hard to explain. It just...
Man Cow was in it. You remember Man Cow? He got his...
Was he?
Yeah, in one of the commercials. He got his hair cut on a bridge.
I guess like things
Hilarious.
like that. It's like Eagle Man was like an accidental miracle, whereas this is like everything now is like too aware and sincere. And it's like anytime you go, oh, remember the Census Cowboy? It's like, yep, that was just some forced gag because
anything that's like focus grouped or like a corporate, like they're asking someone in 2020 like, well, the kids love that. They love that Old Town Road, don't they? What if we did a cowboy?
So let's hold on a second here. Zwick, cut this out real quick.
Zwick, add this part in.
Zwick, just cut the whole thing. Let's move on to this week's Thought Cop's Word of the Week. This week's Thought Cop Word of the Week or Phrase of the Week is parasocial relationship, which is a kind of relationship experienced by an audience in their mediated encounters with performances in the mass media. A lot of people who listen to podcasts may think that they know the podcasters.
Y'all don't know me.
They don't. You don't know the first fucking thing about me. Parasocial relationship.
All right.
So before we get to our last segment of the show, the voicemails, Ian, plug all your random crap online.
It's like taking this coding boot camp that it was a 6-month boot camp. And like, I've done maybe one show kind of like at the beginning of Feb before quarantine shit. And I haven't done like any comedy stuff really since then. I guess I would plug my girlfriend for her final, film project that she was doing. She made a video towards the beginning of quarantine. You could probably look into that. I'm on Twitter a lot. I'm tweeting very bad jokes that, I'll get 3 likes in 12 minutes and then I'll delete it.
Hell yeah.
I am designing I'm in the looking for a job part of my coding portion of the thing. And so I'm designing my website to look like the Space Jam website.
Oh, hell yeah.
So if you want to take a look at that, also DM me. I'm on IA Erickson on GitHub, if that means anything to you. And if you have I don't know, I'm very new to like doing work for the web stuff that is like freelance shit. If you need a website or anything, also DM me. I would love to I think there's a lot of bad stuff with technology, and that's definitely a big part of like our downfall, I would say. Yeah. But it coding, learning about this stuff was very fun and very pure, and it's a weird blend of logic and creativity, and I felt like learning about that stuff and having something to do with that was very good for just kind of head down focusing on something. And so I recommend if you want to learn more about that stuff, there's a ton of free. You don't have to take a boot camp, but if you like the structure, I recommend it. But also if you have any coding projects or any ideas or something, I don't know, hit me up.
Hell yeah. And you said your Twitter handle again?
Yeah, it's IA Erickson. So IAERICKSON. It's I'm on there most of all the time, so you can hit me up there, and I'll have a 20 tweet occasionally. Check that out. That's kind of fun.
Oh, hell yeah. Love to hit that 20.
Oh yeah, when you hit that 20, things be popping off.
20 be hitting a little differently than 10.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's get to those voicemails. If you want to give us a call, 312-788-7361, or you can send us an audio file at thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com. Hit it.
Hit what?
I'd hit it,
Cool.
Oh my fucking god. I am driving through Indiana and it sucks ass. It is the most depressing shithole. Well, not the most, but it's one of the most depressing shitholes I've ever been through. I'm gonna drive to South Bend, Indiana. I'm gonna drive through South Bend, Indiana and beat the shit out of Mayor Buttchug, personally myself, for just living here and subjecting me to driving through Indiana, because it's terrible. I don't want anyone to complain about Wisconsin when Indiana exists.
That's true.
Yeah. Indiana's definitely worse than Wisconsin.
Wait,
Hey,
yeah.
Here's something kind of funny. Why not both?
I mean, yeah.
I think they both kind of suck. I think they both are bad, and I think I think they're both bad for kind of the same reasons. And I think Wisconsin has the saving grace of having like Milwaukee and some of Madison, although Madison hasn't been doing so great as of.
Oh, you're from Madison, aren't you?
Yeah, I went to school there, and like when I went there, it was fine, but just like I'd say in light of how things have been going, like they're just as bad as like a lot of other. They're a quote unquote kind of college liberal zone, but I do feel like when Scott Walker was the governor, he did a lot to cut like funding to UW and sort of like starve it and make it less of a progressive place. It's still progressive as like a small town college campus can be, but I do feel like a lot more like liberal types. It's not that they're the best, but a lot more conservatives have maybe gained more ground there. And also when the protests started happening, there was like some very bad racist shit that was like happening there, just in terms of like bystanders, like not being great.
Yeah.
Why not both? You're right.
Hey, Thought Cops IO Netrunner here, and this week my 2 minutes of hate is actually internet related. So there you go, Kevin.
Thank you.
Or Grant. I forget which one of you.
What do you
mean?
But anyway, my 2 minutes of hate are people who feel the need to police hashtags on Twitter. I open up the stupid Bird app, and I see I have a bunch of new tweets from one person who starts it by saying that, oh, if you're an artist with over, 10K followers, you shouldn't be posting in the nobody artist tag or whatever it was. And then they proceed to retweet like 50 tweets with the tag. And it's like, I'm not looking at these. Now the tag is working wrong. Like I'm just skipping right past everything you retweeted in the last couple minutes and getting on to the good stuff. Like, let's see here. Oh man, there's a monkey playing in a ball pit.
That's fun.
Let's see. Kevin tweeted, if you get up to use the bathroom during a movie, the whole theater is looking at you like a cryptid. Like Bigfoot apologizing for knocking into 13 people's knees in the dark. That was pretty good. And now let's see here. Officer Grant is tweeting at some person I don't know, asking if they want to call in. Yeah. Did it work? Are they the guest on this show?
No.
Oh man, that'd be so cool.
Probably the future.
Sabla.
That's
Grant.
She's going to be in 2 weeks.
Let's see.
But thank you.
Nico with the C is complaining about some LA garbage.
Right.
Oh man, Aaron Cloffer retweeted the Census Cowboy. You guys in Chicago are fucked. Nico with a K complaining about being alive. Oh man. Oh, I love this dumb Bird app.
It's great.
Keep it real, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
That was a pretty significant picture into the lives we live in these times.
That's
what
true.
was the question?
I don't know if there was one. I don't remember.
He kind of meandered, but basically what he was saying was people who are in the people who are in hashtags, like he said the nobody artist hashtag which is meant for like artists with I guess under 10,000 followers, and apparently some artists who had over 10,000 followers are posting their art with the hashtag nobody artists, and people were mad because they said you have too many followers to be posting that you're a nobody. And I'm sitting here thinking, all this talk about nobodies, I feel like I'm in Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
When you walk away, please don't hear me say, please, oh Kevin, Don't go.
I think they should have. I think with like, who's the voice of Sora?
The kid from Sixth Sense.
Yeah. I think it'd be really funny
Haley
if they
Joel
aged
Osment.
Sora up like to look how he looks now. So he's like kind of short and chubby with like the long hair and like bad beard. I think that'd be funny. I think it would be great to have as a great main character.
Yeah.
Yeah. This bitch is fucked up.
What the hell?
Hey, Thought Cops. It's your granddad.
Hi, Granddad.
Firecloud. Don't you just love pyramid schemes with their various obscure products that they're trying to sell you, and how they're always trying to be above you, and their neuro-linguistic programming, how they dig into your brain? Don't you just love that?
Yeah.
I do. It's the best. Officer Grant.
What do you want?
Psych.
I finally remembered
okay.
what I have to say to you.
Oh, okay.
I have a good entrepreneurial venture for you that I
thanks.
think you're gonna love, man.
Oh, yeah?
See, this is what you gotta do. You're gonna open up a business called GCE, short for the Grants Cavs Experience. What you gotta do is you gotta round up a bunch of straight dudes. You can put them in leg locks. And once you find two formidable opponents with equal or, similar calves, you can get them to start looking for 4 people, and those 4 people will start looking for 8 people.
Oh, hell yeah.
Those 8 people will start looking for 16
That all goes
people.
up to the top.
And before you know it, you'll have built an entire empire out of your calves. So what do you think? Good business venture? Good idea?
No.
I told you pyramid schemes are great, man. You just got to look into them a little more. That's all I'm saying. Peace. Bye.
So I think that's the 5th voicemail he's left about your calves.
Yeah, I'm telling you, straight men won't stop hitting on me about my calves. It's only straight men. If a single female would ever talk to me in my normal life, I would die of happiness. But it's all straight men that walk up to me and go, "Hey, how about your calves, bro? What'd you do to get those?" And I'm like, don't ever speak to me.
You should tell him, I live on the 5th floor in an apartment building. No elevator.
No, because then they want to ask more questions. I just cut them off. I go, no.
You do kind of a Scarface, and once you get all the straight men, you're gonna kind of have a monopoly on all the straight men. That's the pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
If you get all your straight men to look at your calves, then you control all the straight men, and then eventually you're gonna You'll be kind of a pimp for straight men, and then you'll be able to kind of talk to women who want straight men back.
That's a good point. Pyramid them all the way up, and then just lock them in a room somewhere, and then just be like, "Hey, ladies, I'm the only one left."
Hey, how's this for a conspiracy theory? I think pyramid schemes were invented by a white person or aliens or whatever the conspiracy about pyramids is.
Hey, I'm the guy with the funny hair on History Channel, and I got my hands I'm going aliens with the impact.
What if it's that guy, but it's the Johnny Sums face over it, and it says aliens?
God.
Oh no!
All right, fellas, how's it going?
Fine.
I hope you're doing well.
It's going.
So today I'm doing something new.
Oh yeah.
It's called 2 Minutes of Help.
Oh wow.
This is where I try to help you guys and the listeners with my wisdom and life experience.
Nobody asked for this.
So what's the opposite of a red flag?
A white flag?
So
Checkered
I just
flag?
call it things you gotta look for in a woman.
Blue? Oh.
And it isn't, looks.
Okay.
I mean, those are important, no question. Don't get me wrong. Or whether they have a nice personality, which they don't mostly.
All right.
Or if they have money, education. No, it's whether they have a dog or not. And it's more important that they don't currently have a dog than whether they had a dog in their life, as a childhood dog. Because no
men
matter
are
the
dogs.
country, no matter the continent, no matter the culture, really.
I'm afraid of where this is
Okay,
going.
although start with a C. The white woman's relationship with her dog is a weird one. A very weird one, and I don't like it.
Oh, yeah.
I really don't like it. I don't think I need to go into detail here.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry this is over a minute, but yeah, I'm just trying to help my fellow fellas.
What?
All right?
You didn't give any advice.
So the rule is simple. No dogs.
Okay, that's the advice.
Except us guys, of course.
Am I right, fellas?
Oh man, are we dogs or pigs? I don't know the difference. 2 minutes of help. Interesting. Very interesting.
IO Netrunner in the chat says, white women fuck dogs ruined a generation of Germans.
God damn.
Hey, it's your boy, Brandon Kirkman, calling for Ian Erickson. Must be Hot Boy Summer if you have that chunk of meat on.
It is.
Chunk of hot meat, that's what I'm saying. Hey,
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know if Nico's going to do a fuck, marry, kill, but with it being Ian, this fuck, marry, kill absolutely has to happen. So, fuck, marry, kill, you have Shrek, you have Peter from Family Guy, and you have The Mask. And truly, this is going to be a smoking answer. Obviously, fuck The Mask. Obviously, marry Peter Griffin from Family Guy. And then obviously, sorry, Shrek, you're getting a bullet to the face.
Classic.
All right, keep it real, 1999, guys. Thank you.
Okay, I have an answer. Kill the Mask. He's annoying as fuck.
You're right. Peter Griffin, definitely not annoying.
I would marry Peter Griffin because he is a Family Guy.
Lucky we have him.
And I would fuck Shrek because he got that swampy bussy.
Do you think Shrek's dick looks like his ears?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, so I let's kind of, before I say my answer, let's get in the facts here. They made a movie about fucking the Mask. It's called Son of the Mask.
True.
And I don't know if you've seen that movie, but in, I think the original theatrical cut, there's a scene where I don't know if Jamie Kennedy has sex with the mask on, or if he is just so corrupted by the mask's powers that he is just like permanently kind of cursed by that.
Who's to say?
But there's a scene where it's implied that he has just finished busting, and
if you will,
it's the bed where it happened, and it kind of zooms in and does kind of like a quick transition. And there's a scene where it's all of Jamie Kennedy's sperm heading towards the egg, and it cuts to 3 kind of wacky green sperm, and it's implied that they are mask sperm, and they have their sperm that have been infected by the chaotic Loki magic of the mask.
So he cucked himself.
And so, if you fuck the mask, you are inviting this sort of trickster magic into your sperm, and you will have a little kid who is fucked up. So I don't think you can, in good conscience, fuck the mask. Even though if it's Jim Carrey mask, I understand. But knowing what we know about the lore and what is canon, I don't think you should fuck the mask, because you will have a fucked up kid who has a big hammer he pulls out, and probably if he saw like a very kind of chesty dame, I bet mask kid, if he was straight, I bet he would kind of go goo goo gaga for the dame and kind of be a pervert about it. And I just wouldn't wish that on anyone.
Are we considering the Son of the Mask canon though? Is that canon?
I mean, there's never been a statement by anyone saying that it's not.
I mean, because you made me want to fuck the mask, because then I was like, well, that sounds kind of cool. Then you create cartoonish, fucked up babies that have hammers and stuff. That's the basis of my childhood, is watching cartoons like that.
I guess, honestly,
Sounds
that
rad.
world where everyone is kind of invincible and you're basically fucking your way into Looney Tunes. You're kind of doing like Aleister Crowley sex magic, but trying to turn the world into like duck season,
Toontown or something.
Season.
Sounds more exciting
so I guess,
than what we have now.
Maybe I do
fighting
marry
about
the
beans
mask
and shit.
because maybe I do marry the mask because I think that reality is better than the one we have going.
Yeah.
And then also, like, you bring gun violence down to zero because no one ever gets, like...
They all catch
killed
the
for
bullets in
getting
their
shot with a
teeth.
gun. Yeah. And so I guess that it is technically... Well, there is still, like, the racist cartoons, so you're not solving racism, but you are solving gun violence.
One step at a time.
Yeah, and it is a better world with that reality.
More exciting.
Peter Griffin, he may be a family guy, but I don't feel like he treats Lois right. I feel like if I were Lois's husband, I would, I would treat her very right. And you know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, brother.
I think I would be kind of a great husband. So if you married Peter Griffin, I don't think you really have a shot with Lois. So maybe if you fuck Peter, you could frame them for divorce. So you could marry Lois.
Well, hold on. If you fuck Peter, then you end up with Meg. Shut up, Meg.
Disgusting.
But if you end up marrying Mask, maybe there's a version of Mask Meg who is like, I feel like if Meg wore the mask, she would be very hot and kind of a smoke show and kind of do like kind of her own thing. And it would probably improve her. So I think marrying the Mask so you can get Mask sperm into the gene pool is the most ethical. That's the most moral choice.
I agree.
So I think
I've rethought it. Yeah.
I think you do have to marry the Mask, and then it's Peter Griffin and Shrek.
Yes.
I love Shrek's character arc, like in terms of like how he's a bitter kind of grumpus, and he turns kind of into a nice guy. But if you can't marry Shrek, you're not really you're not setting yourself up for a window to see that beautiful character arc. So I guess I would fuck Peter with the intention of splitting up that divorce. So you could get a Meg who gets maskified. You could maybe meet a Lois down the line. And I'm sorry, Shrek, but if I mess with Shrek's relationship, then he's not going to have that character arc. He's not going to go on the Great Adventure with Donkey. He's not going to, meet the dragon who the donkey fucks. Like you're not. Right. You're robbing everyone of that ability to have that story. So, but then if you kill Shrek, he doesn't get that anyways. So.
It's a tough one. Brandon, you really put us in a real pickle here.
Right. It's a bit of a pickle Rick. Well, you know what? If you do, does the order in which you do this matter? Because if you marry the Mask, you can't really kill anyone. If the gene pool, if everyone's a Mask.
I got the answer. Fuck Pickle Rick. Just shove him in your ass, Problem solved.
There's probably a Pickle Rick butt plug out there, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely, absolutely. Yeah. Go to Spencer's Gifts. It's probably right there. I like that Ian turned this into...
Do you think like a furry has done a Pickle Rick cosplay where they're like Pickle Rick but with the rat parts, and it's like they see themselves as the rat parts?
It's possible. I would have to do a serious amount of research, which I'd rather not do.
Yeah, that's fair.
Anyway, again, if you want to give us a call of your own, 312-788-7361, or send us a voicemail file at thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com. Ian, thanks so much for coming back on the show, man.
Hey, thank you very much for having me. It's always a treat to be on. I had a great time, and thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun, and
thanks for coming on.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys.
Anytime.
And thanks for listening, everybody. If you want to support the show with a few dollars, cents, whatever the case, go over to patreon.com/thoughtcops. Check out the live chat, all that good stuff, all kinds of bonus content. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye.